To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them. To die, to sleep, no more, and by a sleep to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep perchance to dream, aye, there's the rub. And in that sleep of death what dreams may come. When we have shuffled off this mortal coil, let's give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merit of the unworthy takes, when he himself might as quiet as make with fair bargain? Who would these fardels bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life? But that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveller returns, puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others that we know not of. With this regard, our currents turn awry and lose the name of
Kira,
action.
Hey, we're not doing a show. We're doing as you like it. Hang there, my verse, in witness of my love, and thou, thrice crowned Queen of Night, survey with thy chaste eye from thy pale sphere above thy huntress's name that my full life doth sway. O Rosalind, these trees shall be my books, and in their barks my thoughts all character, that every eye which in this forest looks shall see thy virtue witnessed everywhere. Run, run, Orlando, carve on every tree the fair, the chaste, and unexpressive she.
And how like you the shepherd's life, Master Touchstone?
Truly, shepherd, in respect of itself, it is a good life. But in respect that it is a shepherd's life, it is not. In respect that it is solitary, I like it very well. But in respect that it is private, it is a very vile life. Now, in respect it is in the fields, it pleaseth me well. But in respect it is not in the courts, it is tedious. As it is a spare life, look you, it fits my humor well. But as there is no more plenty in it, it goes much against my stomach. Hast any philosophy in thee, shepherd?
No more but that I know the more one sickens, the worse at ease he is, and that he that wants money, means, and content is without 3 good friends. That the property of rain is wet, and fire to burn. That good pasture makes fat sheep, and that a great cause of the night is lack of the sun. That he that hath learned no wit by nature nor art may complain of good breeding, or comes from a very dull kindred.
Such a one is a natural philosopher. Wast ever in court, shepherd?
No, truly.
Then thou art damned.
Nay, I hope.
Truly, thou art damned like an ill-roasted egg, all on one side.
For not being at court, your reason.
Why, if thou never wast at court, then thou never sawest good manners. If thou never sawest good manners, then thy manners must be wicked, and wickedness is a sin, and sin is damnation. Thou art in a parlous state, shepherd.
Not a whit, Touchstone. Those that are good manners at the court are as ridiculous in the country as the behavior of the country is most mockable at the court. You told me you salute not at the court, but you kiss your hands. That courtesy would be uncleanly if courtiers were shepherds.
Instance, briefly, come, instance.
Why, we are still handling our ewes, and their fells, you know, are greasy.
Why, do not your courtiers' hands sweat? And is not the grease of a mutton as wholesome as the sweat of a man? Shallow, a better instance, I say, come.
Besides, our hands are hard.
Your lips will feel them the sooner. Shallow again. A more sounder instance, come.
And they are often tarred over with the surgery of our sheep. And when you have us kiss tar, the courtier's hands are perfumed with civet.
Most shallow man, thou worm's meat in respect of a good piece of flesh indeed. Learn of the wise and perpend, civet is of a baser birth than tar, very uncleanly flux of a cat. Mend the instance, shepherd.
You have too courtly a wit for me. I'll rest.
Wilt thou rest damned? God help thee, shallow man. God make incision in thee, thou art raw.
Sir, I am a true laborer. I earn that I eat, get that I wear. Oh, no man hate, envy no man's happiness. Glad of other men's good, content with my harm, and the greatest of my pride is to see my ewes graze and my lambs suck.
That is another simple sin in you. To bring the ewes and the rams together, to offer to get your living by the copulation of cattle. To be bawd to a bellwether and to betray a she-lamb of a 12-month to a crooked-pated old cuckoldly ram. And of all reasonable match, if thou be'st not damned for this, the devil himself will have no shepherd. I cannot see how else thou shouldst escape.
Here comes young Master Ganymede, my new mistress's brother. From the east to western end, no jewel is like Rosalind, her worth being mounted on the wind, though all the world bears Rosalind. All the pictures fairest lined are but black to Rosalind. Let no fair be kept in mind, but the fair of Rosalind.
I'll rhyme you so 8 years together, dinners and suppers and sleeping hours expected. It is the right butter's woman's rank to mark it.
Out!
Fool! For a taste. If a hart do lack a hind, let him seek out Rosalind. If the cat will after kind, so be sure will Rosalind. Winter garments must be lined, so must slender Rosalind. They that reap must sheaf and bind, then to cart with Rosalind. He that sweetest rose will find, must find love's prick, and Rosalind. This is the very false gallop of verses. Why do you infect yourself with them?
Peace, you dull fool! I found them on a tree.
Truly, the tree yields bad fruit.
I'll graft it with you, and then I shall graft it with a meddler. Then it will be the earliest fruit in the country, for you'll be rotten ere you be half ripe, and that's the right virtue of the meddler.
You have said, but whether wisely or no, let the forest judge.
Peace, here comes my sister reading. Stand aside.
I thank you for your company, but good faith, I'd as lieve have been myself alone.
And so had I, but yet, for fashion's sake, I thank you too for your society.
God be with you, let us meet as little as we can.
I do desire we may be better strangers.
I pray you, mar no more trees with writing love songs in their barks.
I pray you, mar no more my verses with reading them ill-favorably.
Rosalind is your love's name?
Yes, just.
I do not like it.
There was no thought of pleasing you when she was christened.
What stature is she of?
Just as high as my heart.
You are full of pretty answers. Have you not been acquainted with goldsmiths' wives and conned them out of rings?
Not so, but I answer you right painted cloth, from whence you studied your questions.
You have a nimble wit. I think 'twas made of Atlanta's heels. Will you sit down with me? We two will rail against our mistresses, the world and all our misery.
I will chide no breather in the world but myself, against whom I know most faults.
The worst fault you have is to be in love.
'Tis a fault I will not change for your best virtue. I am weary of you.
By my troth, I was seeking for a fool when I found you.
He is drowned in the brook. Look but in, and you shall see him.
There I shall see mine own figure.
Which I take to be either a fool or a cipher.
I'll tarry no longer with you. Farewell, good Signor Love.
I am glad of your departure. Adieu, good monsieur. Melancholy.
Action.
A fool or a cipher?
I will tarry with you. I'll tarry with you no longer. Okay. I'll tarry no longer with you. I'll tarry with you no longer. Good. God damn. I'll tarry no longer with you. Farewell, good Signor. I'll tarry no longer with you. Good. Shit. Tarry no longer with you. Farewell. Farewell.
Farewell.
Fare thee well. I'll tarry no.
Sorry.
I'll tarry no longer with thee. I'll tarry no longer with you.
Me?
Wow. Of the wise and perpend. Civet is of a baser base. Civet is a
Happiness, glad of other men's good, content with my harm, and the greatest of my pride is to see my ewes graze and my lambs suck.
That is another simple sin in you. To bring the ewes and the rams together to offer. To get your living by
From the east to western end, no jewel
Ow.
is like Rosalind.
Stop that.
Oh boy.
Well, that was the strangest thing ever. Just started talking and like things flew at me. I thought like they were okay.
She speaks.
Such a nut is Rosalind. I'll tarry no longer with you. Farewell, good senior love.
I am glad of your departure. Adieu, good Monsieur Melancholy. Man.
I had to walk away quickly because I was laughing. Damn it, I wanted to get you that time.
Oh, it's so close.
Yeah. Interception.
Yes. It's fabulous. My third boob.
Wow.
You have a nimble wit. I think 'twas made of Atlanta's heels. Will you sit down with me?
I will chide no breather in the world but
And we will-
myself. Oh wait, no.
And
Sorry.
we will. That's all right.
No.
Where should we? Do you want to just start over? Let's just start over. We got this.